Hello everyone, welcome back to Archivest News, where we talk about everything that's happening in Grand Archive. So, recently we had Ascent Taipei. I'm recording this a couple days later, and we had some announcements as usual for the closing ceremony of Ascents. And as you see here, we have our Ascent Chicago. Ascent Chicago is August 3rd to August 4th. Tickets are on sale now if you want to get that. And it looks like we have a preview of the upcoming Spirit of Fire Champion card. It was leaked or announced, or however you want to go about it recently, that you did have a new Spirit of Fire coming, and that Athene is not going to be the winnable card. So we have a little sneak peek, I think, of what the art's going to look like. And then we also got Ascent Singapore. Ascent Singapore has their dates announced, September 28th through September 29th, so pretty much right before the beginning of October, near the end of September. Tickets go on sale June 14th, so 3 more days. So keep an eye out for that. And we also got Tristan Shadow Reaver deck box announced. So this is on Twitter at this point. They announced it at the Ascent Taipei, but they announced it also on Twitter. So I figured I would pull up the big box image of it. So we have a really nice deck box here. I really like the art. I think this is Shadow Reaver, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Shadow Reaver. Yeah, just a Shadow Reaver deck box. Anyway, Expo will have this. I assume it's going to be like the Merlin and the Parson deck boxes, or merch days and other sort of events is going to have this as the go-to deck box to bring. As you saw, it has the usual dual side deck holders here. I really like the red on this. The red really pops, and I really like the boasting on this entire deck box. Like, this deck box looks really well made. Congratulations, shout out to Grand Archive for making a really good product. With that, we also had Supporter Back 2 announced. We have got some new arts. I'm pretty sure we see probably a Summon Sentinels here. Maybe Whiplash, something with Nico, and something with Arcandinia. Yeah, something with the new CSR ally. Because I mean SP2, but like I said, this is probably Summon Sentinels. This might be a CSR, or these could all be CSRs for all we know. Really interesting to see what we get out of SP2. And then we got announced Mortal Ambition. Mortal Ambition is set number 5 of Grand Archive, releasing October 11th. We got some little bit of sneak previews. We got a little bit of, let me zoom in on this. Apologies. 2 new champions of Jin and Kongming. We'll go over that here in a second. And then we had a couple other images that were sort of shown with some mage, looks like some warrior cards as a whole. The product sheet released that night, which here we go. We have the product sheet in front of us right now. I'm not going to go over the whole thing here. Like I said, it's just sort of announced in the news. The first one, we have Jin Starter Deck, new champion. It's going to be a 60 card deck to usual with 12 material deck cards. It's going to be Wind and Exia. Exia? Something. Something like that. I don't know. So this is a brand new element. It's replacing the Wraith element that was announced previously near DOA, FTC, that were missing Wraith and Tekka. And then they announced at some way that Wraith was being reworked, and apparently Exia is the rework for Wraith. It is a warrior class, as a random CSO as usual. You have the 8 starter decks per display, 4 displays per case, and the usual MSRP pricing as a whole. Then we have Kongming. Kongming is a new mage, so this is a very unique mage card, very unique mage deck. We have 60 card as usual, but this is Water Terra. So Terra is sort of going to become the build now for mages. So instead of being Arcane or Fire Merlin, if you want to go Crux, you have Terra element. Right now, we don't have too many cards that use Mage. You have the Verdant Scepter, which was announced in the Sylvie Recollection. Then you have Terra Sight. Otherwise, you don't have any other Terra Mage cards. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out. And I'm really interested to see overall how it goes. So then, Mortal Ambitions is getting a first edition. So everyone knows it is the first edition, as usual, like we've had. There's an Alter edition that could come out later on if the demand and everything else is there for it. So you have 229 unique cards, 238 foil variations, 15 cards in packs. This is more than previously, so it went up from the 12 to the 15. 24 booster packs per box, 6 boxes per case, and the rarity distribution is 75 common, 59 uncommon, 55 rare, 32 SR, 8 UR, 11 CSR, and we're going to add another CUR in the set. I'm really, really happy for this. MRC was great. We had the CR and MRC, CUR and MRC with the Tristan. It's really, really popular. So I'm really interested to see what's going to make. It's either going to be Kongming, probably, or Jin. I'm really hoping to see what comes of this. Boxes are back to the 108.99 because this is the main set, not a supplemental set like MRC was. And then we do have the usual launch kits and event kits going to come out, and the usual minimum advertised price policy. And then also at the end of the event, following the next day, we do have a ban and restricted update. Ban and restricted update, we still have the same category 3 here. Category 2 is still with erupting. And we had a couple cards added to category 1. We had Karazi Outlook bump into the category 1 because of the fact they think it might cause some little bit issues on the roller, especially design. The very prevents gameplay because of the fact that it's very easy to get to remove prep on counter. You can't cast spells on your opponent's turn or activate cards, not spells on your opponent's turn. So it's really interesting. So it is going to be in category 1. And then they also removed Varuk and Freezing Hail. So they're sort of satisfied, like I said, with the current place of them in the meta. And then these cards are no longer concerns as they did before, or reducing the design space for champions. And those are removed. And we usually still have the Creative Shock, Chalice of Blood, Scepter, and Dream Fairy in category 1. And we'll see on next BNR August 5th, which is going to be after Ascent Chicago. But that's all we got to say for Archivest News, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe below, hit the like button, the yada usual. If you want to comment anything else you want to see in these news podcasts or anything certain you want covered, feel free to let me know down in the comments. But otherwise, I hope everyone has a good rest of their day or night or whatever your watching time zone you're watching this in, and hope everyone has a good one. Peace.